Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's update is something we've never seen before. If you've been following the Iraqi dinar story for any length of time, you already know how wild it's been. Rumors, insider leaks, speculation everywhere. But this time, it's different. It's official. Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani just went live on national television and laid out a timeline for the Iraqi dinar revaluation. You heard that right. This isn't another rumor or anonymous source. This is the Prime Minister himself, confirming that Iraq is moving forward with a currency revaluation and that the central bank now has the authority to decide when it happens. The shockwaves from this announcement are massive, reaching investors, analysts, and currency watchers all over the world. In this video, we're breaking down exactly what he said, why it's a big deal, what's going on behind the scenes, and what it all means if you're holding dinar right now. Prime Minister Sudani's comments came during a televised economic update that most people thought would just cover Iraq's oil revenue, budgets, and infrastructure projects. But out of nowhere, he shifted gears and started talking about monetary reform, dropping a bombshell that stunned millions of viewers. He clearly stated that the government has completed every step needed for monetary reform, and now it's up to the central bank to choose the right moment to adjust the amendments. The dinar's value in coordination with international partners. Let that sink in for a second. The top leader in the country saying publicly that a revaluation is on the way. That's not speculation anymore. It's real, and it marks a major turning point in Iraq's financial plan. The fact that this announcement was broadcast live tells you everything. The government wants people, both citizens and investors, to know the RV is near. Historically, reevaluations need both political and technical alignment. And in Iraq's case, that process has been long and careful. They've had to make sure all the laws, budgets, trade systems were ready before handing control over to the central bank. Now, Sudani confirming that the political side is done, it means the final piece is in place. For years, we've seen mixed messages, one group saying we're ready, and another saying not yet. But this time, the Prime Minister made it crystal clear. The government has finished its part, and the central bank has the green light. That's huge, because it signals that Iraq has moved from planning to execution mode, something we've seen happen right before major reevaluations in other countries. Right after Sudani's televised speech, the Central Bank of Iraq followed up with its own statement, confirming that Phase 2 of the currency reform plan is now underway. They emphasized that preparations are being made to strengthen the dinar's value and connect Iraq's banking system with the international financial network. This stage, often called the connectivity phase, is critical because it ensures that when the RV goes live, Iraq's new exchange rate can be recognized and traded worldwide. The fact that the central bank is openly confirming this shows how close they are to flipping the switch. Their plan has always been clear: clean up, connect, then activate. And based on everything we're seeing, Iraq is in those final steps before activation. What makes this update even more powerful is the global reaction. Not long after Sudani's announcement, both the IMF and World Bank issued statements praising Iraq's progress in modernizing its financial systems. While they didn't directly mention a revaluation, their wording made it clear they see Iraq as ready for the next phase. That international coordination is key, because no RV happens in isolation. The IMF, World Bank, and other major institutions need to be aligned so that change is recognized globally. For dinar holders, this is probably the clearest signal yet that we're on a timeline leading towards something real, and soon. So let's talk about timing. Based on Sudani's comments and Iraq's fiscal calendar, analysts believe the revaluation could line up with the country's 2025 economic reforms and completion of oil and trade deals. Many are eyeing a window between late October and December for the official activation of the new rate. That timing makes perfect sense. It gives Iraq enough room to finalize its budget, oil contracts, and WTO processes before announcing the change. This isn't random or rushed. Strategic, internationally coordinated, and built to strengthen Iraq's economy without causing global market shocks. On the ground, Iraqi banks are already preparing. Several commercial banks have been quietly testing new software that supports two exchange rate systems, one for the current rate and another for the new, stronger rate. These tests are being done during off hours to avoid confusion for customers, which tells us that everything's being set up for a smooth switch when the time comes. This isn't theory anymore. The systems are literally being updated behind the scenes. When the central bank makes it official, the infrastructure will already be ready to go. Sudani's exact words, "the central bank will set the appropriate date according to international coordination," are incredibly telling. It's not just a domestic move. It means Iraq is working side by side with global institutions like the IMF, World Bank, and BIS. That level of coordination ensures everything runs smoothly, avoids market shocks, and gives foreign investors confidence. Other countries that went through reevaluations, like Kuwait and Vietnam, use the same playbook: tight coordination between government and central bank, guided by international partners. It's a proven formula for stability and success. This really is a historic moment. For the first time ever, an Iraqi prime minister has publicly acknowledged a revaluation timeline. The central bank is confirming progress, and major global institutions are signaling approval. Together, that's the trifecta. While social media will always have fake intel, screenshots, and rumors, this is what truly matters. Official statements: we've reached the point where preparation meets reality. For anyone holding dinar, now's the time to stay calm, stay focused, and follow only verified updates. Inside Iraq, the reaction has been electric. Across Baghdad, Basra, and beyond, people are buzzing about Sudani's speech. Shop owners, traders, and young professionals are openly talking about what this could mean for their future. For decades, Iraqis have seen their currency undervalued, despite their country's massive oil wealth. Now, for the first time, there's visible hope. People genuinely believe they're on the verge of a financial transformation, and that confidence is exactly what a revaluation needs to succeed. Globally, investors and analysts are watching closely. Financial forums, investor groups, and economic experts are dissecting every line of Sudani's statement and the central bank's response. One regional analyst even said, "When a prime minister talks publicly about exchange rate changes, it means the wheels are already turning. And it's not just talk." Neighboring countries like Turkey, Iran, and the UAE are reportedly adjusting import contracts in anticipation of a stronger dinar. Even U.S. Treasury officials in Baghdad are preparing to support smooth currency transitions once this goes live. Behind the scenes, Iraq's been laying the groundwork for this all year, stabilizing the market, increasing foreign reserves, and gold holdings, and rolling out electronic payment systems that run on the dinar. These are all foundational moves to ensure the currency holds its value once it's revalued internationally. Sudani's statement basically confirms that all those steps are now complete, which means Iraq is ready for its currency to reflect its real economic power. To understand where we are, it helps to look at Iraq's three-phase reform plan. Phase 1 was cleanup, fixing the internal systems and enforcing banking regulations. Phase 2, which we're in right now, is the connectivity phase, linking Iraq's system to the global network. And Phase 3 is the activation stage, where the new rate goes live, gets recognized globally, and starts being used in daily commerce. Based on Sudani's words, Phase 3 is just around the corner. Once it kicks off, the central bank will post the new rate, and platforms like Bloomberg and Reuters will update it worldwide. Local banks will also adjust, allowing people to exchange currency at the new rate, and new lower denomination notes will likely roll out to fit the value shift. All of this will happen almost simultaneously to keep the transition smooth and controlled. The effects of this move go far beyond exchange rates. For years, Iraq's currency has been undervalued, even though the country's resources make it one of the richest in the region. A successful revaluation would mark Iraq's return to global financial respectability and symbolize progress for its people. For investors, it's a rare chance to witness a nation stepping into a new economic era. For Iraqis, it's a sign of national pride and stability. But while the excitement is real, staying cautious and fact-based is key. Ignore social media hype and stick to official updates from the central bank and the government. That's how you stay safe and informed. On a bigger scale, the world is watching closely. Iraq's move could inspire other developing countries to modernize their own currencies. By working closely with institutions like the IMF and World Bank, Iraq is proving it wants a smooth, responsible transition, not a chaotic one. This kind of careful planning builds global confidence and could boost investment across the Middle East. Iraq is sending a message. It's ready to stand strong financially and take its place on the world stage.